Hey guys, what's up and welcome back to my channel. Today's video, y'all, I've been meaning to film this video for like literally 3 weeks and I am just now getting around to it. The thing is, these makeup videos take a lot to film, but nevertheless, I'm here with the review slash, well, not really a review, a first impressions of the new Morphe foundation, which is quite not so new right now. The shade that I picked up in this was the Filter Rich 30, and here it is. The bottle is frosted, so this doesn't really give a great depiction of the actual color of the foundation. So the first thing I want to do here is add my go-to primers, just because I don't want the primer to be the reason why the foundation doesn't look nice. So I'm using my like favorites, my go-tos. This is the Tatcha Silk Canvas Primer, and I'm putting that all in the T-zone just to make sure this lays down nice and smooth, where I have like the majority of my problems. Y'all, when I went to go pick this up, I think I talked about it in my haul video. They did not have a lot of the deep shades in stores. I mean, they had it, but they only had one, like literally one. So I don't know if that's changed, and they've since added more, but I hope they have, because that's kind of ridiculous. Like, one person can try it. Like, that just seems like a waste of shipping. And here is the Too Faced Hangover Primer. It's moisturizing, where I think this foundation is a matte foundation. So I wanted to put a moisturizing base on so that my face isn't too dry. It's already looking pretty dry. Ooh. I used some of the crusties. Hold on, let me squirt some more out, because the end of that is pretty dried out. That's what I get for not keeping the cap on stuff. And I'm kind of going around where I laid down the Tatcha. Probably gonna have to relay this wig after this, but whatever. All right, so the time has arrived. Now, when I went to go pick up the foundation, it was brand spanking new, and Ulta was having Morphe was having an offer where if you picked up the foundation, you got the brush as well. And it's super soft and nice, but this is not dense enough for me to use as a foundation brush. It's supposed to be a foundation brush, but the hairs are too long on the brush, and it's not dense enough for it to really work for me as a foundation brush. And I really wouldn't suggest anybody use that as a foundation brush. They have a balm foundation brush. Where is it? This one right here, the Morphe M439, is a very, very good foundation brush to use with any foundation. But I'm going in with my Sienna Cashmere sponge, just because I want this to look a little bit more natural. I don't want it to be packed on full coverage. I like to use a brush when I want it to be like snatched full coverage. But let's go ahead and put this foundation on, girl. Know you fucking with a demon. Do about anything, please draw. Come inside me, I'm a kid. Want me to make you a scene, girl. I've never been that hard to breathe, girl. When we done, you say I need ya. I done made you a believer. Can I stop by seeing you? Can I stop by seeing you? Okay, I think I applied 2 pumps of that, and it gave me more on the, I want to say this is medium to full coverage with the beauty blender. I mean, not beauty blender, the Sienna Cashmere sponge, the beauty sponge. I don't mind it. I am going to add a little bit more, just a little bit, to go around my mouth. This looks so good, like first impressions. It's blending in really well, and I'm not mad at the shade at all. This shade is pretty decent. The girl pretty much matched me because she had already tried the foundation out. And she was like, the undertones that they say are the shades of the undertones are listed on like the packaging and stuff are not actually the undertones, which why does that not surprise me? I wouldn't expect anything less / more from Morphe. Okay, so here is the foundation on, and as you can see, that white stuff has pretty much left my face. So I'm just gonna do a little turn here. So initially it's giving me more of a medium to full coverage, like you can pack it on or use a brush and it'll probably be more of a full coverage foundation. But right now it's looking real medium to full. I'm gonna go ahead and finish the rest of my face off camera, or maybe I'll include it. It just depends on how long it takes me. And then I'll be back to show you the final results and tell you a little bit about how it worked with the other products. All right, so I'm back and my full face is on. Now let's talk about my initial thoughts about the foundation. I do think this foundation looks really well on the skin. It blended out perfectly when I put it over the primer, so I didn't have any issues there. I will say this is not a full coverage off the bat sort of foundation. It definitely will take some building to get that full coverage. So it's more so like a medium to full coverage. Again, I did use a sponge and not a brush, so that may have something to do with it. Maybe the next time I'll take a brush and try to use this foundation with a brush just to see if it's more full coverage off the bat. I don't find it to be luminous or matte. It seems more like a natural finish. I think it's supposed to be a matte foundation, but I don't think it's super mattifying at all. Like, I really can't tell on the face that it's matte. I mean, I don't know. Maybe I have to sit with that and look at that a few times after using it more, but it doesn't feel matte or dewy. So I would say more of a natural finish first impressions wise, as opposed to a matte foundation. My concealer, the Rare Beauty concealer that I used to highlight with, blended out very nicely with this. However, I will say the L'Oreal Full Wear, it's a darker shade. It's the shade Espresso. That did take a little bit of maneuvering. It didn't really blend out as smoothly as it normally does. And that's one of my favorite drugstore concealers. So I never really have those issues with this. But I did notice it was like a little harder for me to go ahead and blend that out. And I don't know if that's because that happened like that because this was lighter. So it was easier to kind of like blend out and melt into the skin, where this one is darker than the foundation. So who knows? That's just kind of what I noticed off the bat with that. I did use some other Morphe products just to see how they would work with this. I used the Morphe Luminous Setting Spray and then the Morphe Glamour Bronzer in the shade Leader. and they worked well. No problems there at all. I used some other things that I'll list down in the description box just in case you're interested in knowing what I used to finish this look. I don't know, I'm gonna have to stick with it with a little bit. Definitely not a dislike in my book. So far, so good, looks well. I'm just not sure if it's something that everybody should just be running out to get. It doesn't give me those amazing vibes, but we'll have to try it out and see how it wears during the day. So I'm gonna keep this on and wear it, and probably leave some more details about the wear as a pinned comment. But yeah, I think it looks fine. It is a little bit on the expensive side for drugstore foundation. Morphe is getting kind of up there as they expand their brand. But yeah, I don't see many issues with this. And I think if you were interested in going to pick this up, just based off of my initial thoughts, I would say, yeah, go ahead and do it. I'll leave more feedback in the pinned comments below by the time that you are checking out this video. If you did like this video, make sure you go ahead and leave me a thumbs up. Subscribe to the channel if you have not. And with that, I will see you guys in the next one.